Caring for your pregnant pigs. Caring for your pregnant pigs. Well, that's the subject of today's video. Caring for your pregnant pigs. How do you care for your pregnant pigs? All right, guys, stay tuned. I'll be sharing with you on several tips you need to know and abide with to ensure that you get the best out of your pregnant animals. All right, now if you're new to pig farming, or if you have been into pig farming for a while, I'm sure you can quickly realize that the pregnant pigs are like the most important set of animals on your farm. That goes without saying, because you have like several piglets in them, and the success of their success is literally the success of your farm, because if they are productive, your farm is productive. They're like the lifeline of your farm, and that's why you need to take adequate measure to ensure that they are doing very well, they are doing very fine, and whatever you need to do to ensure that they are doing fine, you need to pay attention to it, because if they are very much productive, then your farm will keep growing. But if they are not productive, there is no way you are going to have your farm growing, because they are like the lifeline of your farm. All right, now I'll be sharing with you several tips on how you're supposed to take care of your pregnant animals. They play a very key role in your farm, on your farm. Now, number one is you need to be very sure that your animals are pregnant. You need to confirm their pregnancy. It's quite very important that you know that your animals are pregnant, and there are ways to know that. I've shared that before, but let me just go over that very quickly. How do you know a pig is pregnant? Well, there are visible signs you should be able to you should know. Number one is that you would notice their belly will be swollen. If you can observe closely, you will notice their belly will be swollen, especially when they get closer in their gestation period, when they move further in their gestation period. So at least a month, you should be able to start seeing their belly swollen. And some of the other things you would notice is the teats. That means their breast, the teats on their breast will be swollen also. And also you would notice in some cases, especially when they've moved higher in their gestation period, you notice their vulva gets reddish and swollen, and that reddishness and is not as a result of it, because if they have taken in, you could also see that happening to them. And also, one of the other things I've noticed is you see them sleeping quite often. They tend to sleep very much, and they're always lying down, and when you see them sleeping, they sleep very well. So those are some of the signs that you would use to know if your animals are pregnant or not. Now, the most important, that's just number one tip: confirm that they are pregnant, for you to be sure. You know, if you don't know they are pregnant, then you don't know how to take care of them. But if you're sure they are pregnant, then you can put them in intensive care. Not ICU, but you know what I mean. I mean, you can start giving them the best care possible. So you need to be able to confirm their pregnancy, then do the needful. Now, the second thing I will talk about rather is their feeding. You need to ensure they are being fed differently and adequately. So the feed you are giving to your grower animals, the animals you are fattening, is not the same feed you will give to your pregnant pigs. So you need to be very observant. Once you know these guys are pregnant, try and change their diet. I'll be releasing maybe a day after this video has been released, I'll be releasing a formulation for pregnant pigs. You can check it in the description on this video. I will be releasing the formulation for how we formulate our pregnant, how we formulate the feed for our pregnant pigs. Now, one thing you need to know about their feeds is that they're supposed to have about 14 to 16% crude protein. Very, very essential that your pregnant pigs have that percentage of protein. Be in between 14 to 16% is good for them. But one of the trick here is that you don't want to increase their energy. You don't want to fatten them, because if your pregnant girls are are fat, it could lead to complications you probably don't want. So that's the reason why I told you for their feed formulation is quite tricky. You must ensure that you increase the fiber level of their diet and reduce the energy level, and let the protein level be between 14 to 16. That's quite very important, so that these guys don't get fat and they are also staying in health. Of course, you can guess the reason why your protein level needs to be that high, obviously because you're dealing with piglets within them also, so you need them to grow. Now, one of the other tips you need to ensure when you are dealing with pregnant pigs is to ensure the environment is quite very clean and comfortable. One of the things we do here is, number one, you see how clean their pen is. That's very essential. One of the other things we do, quickly let me show you something we always do. We do feed them with the water leaf very often. I think I've shared that before, the importance of giving them the water leaf, because when they hit the water leaf, that's very good in boosting their immune system, which is one thing you really want on with your animals. So you see that's the water leaf, which they love so much. Now this is one of the things we'll do, which I want to share with you in this video. So apart from their wallow, which exists already, which I believe you can see, they have their wallow there. We used to bait them. You know, we don't have the hose right here, but you can see how they enjoy it. So we do that to ensure we warm up their body system as often as possible, to keep them comfortable and calm. So they don't need to. You can do this in the morning and in the afternoon, you know, giving them good water. So, and one other thing it does is that, you know, since it will wet the floor, so they tend to sleep on that same floor, and the floor is very cool for them. So that's what we do. We wet them manually. Then we also provide them clean drinking water. So they feed from the nipple drinker. I believe you have seen them feeding on it earlier in the video. They feed on the nipple drinker, and then they also have the wallow for them to sleep in when they need to sleep in. So those are some of the things we do. We ensure they have clean and a comfortable environment. And then one of the tips is that you need to also be very watchful to ensure that these guys are not sick. A sick pig is different from a sick pregnant pig. A sick pregnant pig is quite more catastrophic than, you know, when you have a normal pig that is not pregnant that is sick, you can inject that animal with lots of different medication, not minding the whatever kind of medication you're dealing with. But you see, when you have your pregnant pigs, you have to be very careful. You can't just inject them anyhow, and that's why the best thing for these animals is for them not to get sick. And the way to prevent that is to ensure that they have the best environment, you know, clean environment, tidy environment. You can make sure you disinfect the environment as often as you need to ensure that the environment is quite clean and healthy for them. Then one other thing you need to do is also you should have noted the date when they got pregnant, so that when it's time for them to farrow, you know exactly when they are going to farrow. By farrowing, I mean giving birth to their young ones, their piglets. So when it's time for them to farrow now, we will be introducing the beddings for them, because you want the piglets to be on the beddings. It helps for the piglets. Don't need they don't need water as much, so they need a cool warm environment. That's why we introduce the beddings. There are several things you can use for beddings. You can use the sawdust, you can use the rice husk, you can use the wood shavings, depending on whatever you use. We mostly use the wood shavings. We will be using the wood shavings here. So when you prepare the beddings, one of the things, if you don't know the exact date, one sign you will see that will tell you that your animals are about to farrow is you see them scratching the ground. You see, it's like almost trying to almost like a wild nature. Like if it was in the bush, I believe they would have to open the ground and give birth within the soil. So you see it scratching the ground, you know, scattering and scratching the ground. So when you see that sign, you already know your animals are preparing to give birth. So you can introduce the beddings there and make sure you are present. Ensure you are present when your animals are giving birth. It's extremely essential. There are different animals you'll be dealing with. Some animals are very natural in taking care of their piglets, some are not. So you need to watch out for ensuring that they don't sleep on their young ones and all the likes. So you need to be present, pick the young ones, warm them up, clean them up, and then put them on the beddings. I really hope that really helped you. If you're new to this channel, ensure you subscribe to this channel for lots of great content on profitable pig farming. All right guys, bye bye.